So the state of emergency has been formally lifted yesterday, but our Prime Minister Abe said that he might reintroduce it if and when the infection numbers surge. Anyway, as I said yesterday, I feel that the Japanese people in general feeling that we haven't really done homework. It's not that we have done anything in particular effective, but from unknown circumstances, maybe we have been lucky and we've somehow muddled through this risk pandemic, and we have come out of the tunnel for the moment. But having said that, I think there's definitely a feeling that the government has not done its homework. Probably the mark is C plus or C minus or whatever, depending on your perspective. And I should say that this is actually a traditional feeling of the Japanese people. I think historically the Japanese never had a sense of directly being connected with the government or directly in control of what's going on in the government. There has been this feeling of okami, the lord up there, probably continues from the Edo era when the samurai warriors ruled Japan. The political process at the time had nothing to do with the will of the people. And although Japan now has a parliamentary democracy, there's still this element of the overlords deciding whatever is in their interest, pretending to be it's for the good of the general public. For example, many parliamentary seats are incredibly hereditary. Can you believe that? If a member of parliament has a son or daughter, well, most of the cases it's his son, it will be the parliamentary seat would be transferred from a generation to the next generation. Although it sounds ridiculous, it is accepted as something normal in Japanese politics. So there's this sense of, the powers that be being inherited from one generation to generation. So it's not really a Western style, standard, democratic system, but it's working. I'm not saying that it's terrible. It's working in its moderate way. I'm just saying that the Japanese people have never had a feeling of directly controlling the political process. So that's what happened in this coronavirus pandemic crisis again. The government probably never reflected the people's will at any moment. They did what they could, but at the same time, we cannot say that the best and brightest are in the center of the government. So what they did was sometimes very poor, to say the least, PCR tests and so on. But somehow the Japanese society came out of this crisis for the moment. And I think it's probably due to the efforts of the Japanese people, cleanliness, attention to details, and social distancing. Even before this crisis, the Japanese are very well known for keeping social distance and less obesity rate. And so, probably we can say that the Japanese society came out of this crisis, the first wave of the coronavirus pandemic, not because of the excellence of the government's policies, but in spite of the government's failure to work effectively and swiftly. And probably it's thanks to the general excellence of the Japanese people that Japan has come out of this first tunnel. And as I said, this probably is traditional, inherited from the Edo era. This relationship between the people in society and government which has only a very imperfect idea of what the people really want.